I'm not going to tell this story in the right order. Or maybe I'll tell the story in the right order, but I'll show you things out of order. So we arrived this morning, typical, feed them, and after the feeding, during the feeding, there was chaos because we had to apply medicine to Bruno's eye. We had to clean Ame's eyes, and she had some little wounds around her eyes, nothing important, but good to clean them. And Cosette, the boss, ate too fast, which they do sometimes, and she started throwing up everywhere, and particularly on everyone. It was a very chaotic moment. So we're trying to administer medicine and care to the little ones. The boss is literally moving around and then puking on various people and almost us. So that was how the morning started. When the chaos settled and they started to come here, which they do sometimes after they eat, or what we refer to as ghetto caseta, and usually after they eat too fast. Happens about once every 3 months. Somebody eats too fast and then they throw up. They're greedy. They're trying to take in a lot of food for whatever reason, and they puke it back up. It's almost bulimic. And then usually they eat hay, and that is it. But then we noticed that Yuki was limping badly, and wouldn't put any weight on one of her feet. The back right foot. She wouldn't put any weight on it. And so that was like, what? We've never experienced this before. So we really didn't know what to do, or I took some videos and sent them to the vet. And to the farmer in France that we have bought some of our ladies from, and men, and asked for advice. So then I started investigating, and it seems that a wild pig, because I blocked some entrances yesterday into our pastures, and it seemed that it found another way in, which was all the way over here on this side of the pasture, and it seems to have exited through, or entered, who knows, entered or exited through here. And then on the other side of this elderberry tree, you can see, maybe it translates on camera, there's a path. So, and really, if you notice, if you can trace it, if you follow that path, then it goes up the mountain to the other side, on the other side of this arroyo, canal, creek. That's mostly dry right now because we're in mid-July. See, it's not necessarily seasonal, but it gets very little water flow starting about now. So we saw that. Yuki can't move very much. Alpacas are very stoic. So the fact that she won't put any weight on it, the French farm said, means it could be broken. Did you check to see if she has a wound on the bottom of her foot? That was the first thing I've done, because we've run into that in the past. And I was pretty sure we didn't. And the pig tore up some things here, but the roots are really close to the surface, so it's really difficult even for a wild pig or Jabali to do much digging. But it tried, and my guess is that it entered here. I've already done some blocking, but this is all cleared. And there were trees here, and I've already done some work. I came back before I had to teach and began to block this. I'm going to block it more before I move on to check on the boys. And of course, likely the same pig had really destroyed some things. My fences that I thought worked, in fact, don't work. And the pig went in there and disrupted everything once again. So it dug around here. But again, there's a lot of tree roots. So the strange thing that I have not told is when I came back to work later in the morning or early afternoon, the door to the pasture was open and we come in. There's two ways to get in. We came in the middle way, and when I came back to work I came up the other way, and the door was open. And that was weird, and I couldn't remember whether or not Elena had left through that portal because she had things to do this morning, or I said, no, wait, she came with me to the boys because she was trying to calm me down from my concerns and worries and anger. And the door was open, so I put that all together, and then when I didn't understand why it was open, I realized it was broken. I'll show you later on before I leave. I'll make sure we get a video of that. It was ripped, broken, as if a lot of weight had been put on the top of it, and the sheep fence literally came apart, and the chain was gone. Well, not gone, it slid down to the base of the iron post, and everything, it was just broken in a very aggressive way. So did Yuki get frightened by the pig and try to escape? Okay, here's the fence. And this is how I found it, strangely enough. This is part of the mystery, like what animals break through a fence and then leave it propped up like...
and don't escape.
Yeah, and then don't escape, even though they broke open the fence. So we didn't discover this until I discovered it around, hours later. And so it would have been here. And maybe you can see there you go. The wires are all broken. Elena finds a little bit of fiber here and other places, little strands of fiber. I don't know if it translates
I see.
on the camera. So it's possible that the Yuki, with her injured leg, got spooked and jumped this like her mother did 2 years ago, and she wrecked her leg. Anyway, temporarily we have stuff here. Who knows? Mysteries. Sliced up her leg to a point where we had to have surgery to repair tendons and all sorts of things she severed because she freaked out under some unknown circumstances that are still a mystery to us today and broke through a door, much like the one that was broken at the entrance. But she was covered in blood and had severe wounds, whereas Yuki may have broken a joint or dislocated a joint or sprained a joint. So videos have been sent, waiting for responses to find out whether the vet needs to come here and take a closer look. She definitely doesn't want you to touch it, or me to touch it, or Elena to touch it. She puts a little bit of weight on it, but not too much. When she can, she hobbles along. So that's the story. More later. I'm going to use all these logs that I have scattered about here in different piles. These sticks I'm going to use, but first, before I start working with sticks, I've already started putting these in, and these are now going to be barriers like these were that I did last summer. More work to be done. All right, that's it for now.